On the following problem, you're given that Wy is an altitude. And if Wy is an altitude, that means that XYW is a right angle. And then you have this special drawing that is like the problems we've been doing, which is have the altitude drawn from to the hypotenuse of a right triangle. You're given that XW is 6 root 5, and you're given that YZ is 8. And you're basically asked to find the 3 other segments. Well, if you're given this segment, we know that this segment right there is the geometric mean of 2 segments, and those 2 segments are XY and XZ. Well, we don't know what XY is, so let's go ahead and give it a variable, and let's call it X, just to help us out. So 6 root 5, or XW, is the geometric mean of X and not 8, but X plus 8, because you're talking about this whole distance, right? It's XY and XZ. So you're going to do X over 6 root 5 equals 6 root 5 over the whole distance, which is X plus 8. So when you solve this, you cross multiply, which will give you X squared plus 8X equals, well, 6 root 5 times 6 root 5 is 180. So that's going to give you X squared plus 8X minus 180 equals 0. At this point, you have 2 options. Your 2 options are to try to factor it, or you can try to use a quadratic formula. Probably you're going to be able to factor, so let's try to factor. And I'm looking for products that equal 180, and I notice that 10 times 18 does. That's a real easy one. And when you subtract those 2, that does give you 8x, so you're probably going to be able to factor it. You should be able to factor it as x plus 18, x minus 18, or minus 10 equals 0. That means that your x value is 10. So your first value we found was xy, and we found out that xy equals 10. Now that we know that xy is 10, we can call this 10. Now finding yw is easy, because yw is just the geometric mean of x, y, and yz. And so it's just going to be, if you want to find yw, we should be asking to find, on this one, we actually are looking for, it should be xy and yw here, and then for wz. And so you look at these 2, and so when we're trying to find these, yw is just going to be the geometric mean of those 2, so let's call this y, and so it's going to be 10 over y equals y over 8, so y squared equals 80. Take the square root of both sides, and you get y equals 4 root 5. So now we know that yw is 4 root 5, and then the last one to find is yz, or wz, which you can either use the Pythagorean theorem, or you can know that wz is a geometric mean of, we'll call it z just for help, geometric mean of 8 and 18. And so 8 over z equals z over the whole length, which is 10 plus 18, so 18, the whole hypotenuse. So that's going to give you z squared equals 144. Take the square root of both sides, and you get z equals 12, and that is wz. So you get wz is 12, wy is 4 root 5, and xy is 10.